Hi, in this video I will explain Lambda functions in Python. If you're new to Python or programming in general, you might be wondering what a Lambda function is and what is useful. Put simply, a Lambda function is a small, anonymous function that can be defined in line without a name. It's a convenient way to create simple functions on the fly without having to write a full function definition. In this video, we'll explore the basics of Lambda functions in Python, including how to define them, how to use them with built-in functions like map and filters, and how they compare to regular functions. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of Lambda functions and how they can make your Python code more concise and readable. So let's go to IDE and define a list of numbers from 1 to 5. And now let's pretend that we want to square each of these numbers in the list. So normally we would define a function that will take a number as input and will return that number squared. Then we will want to apply this function to our list. And to do so in Python, we can make use of map built-in function, which takes a function as input, which are square function, and our list, where we want to apply our function. So let's print our results, and let's keep in mind that map return an iterator. So to access it, we'll have to wrap the result of map in our list. So then let's go to our terminal and run our script, which in my case is called lambda.py, and see what's the result. So that's great, it worked. We had a list from 1 to 5 here, and we get back a list of those numbers squared. Now let's make use of Lambda function. So let's comment this out here, and let's substitute the where we call our function to a Lambda function. And as I said at the beginning, Lambda functions are anonymous and inline functions. So what does that mean in practice is that we can go here and inline call the Lambda keyword in Python. So that means that we are defining an anonymous function which takes as an input something called x as before and returns that x squared. That's it. Now let's go back to our terminal and run our script again to check if we get the expected result. So let's run. And here it is. We get back the same exact result as before, but this time we have used Lambda function instead of normal function definition in Python. Now let's have a last example using Lambda function together with the built-in filter function in Python. And so let me delete all of these, and let's pretend that we want to use the filter function and a Lambda function to filter out odd numbers from our list right here. So what we can do here is define a new function called even numbers, and this would be a list, as I said, and we can make use of the filter function in Python, which wants two things: a function that does something. In our case will be a lambda function that will take an input called x, and it will check if this input is divisible by 2. So it will be modular 2 equal 0. So this will check basically if it is an even number. And the second argument will be, as before, a list called numbers. Now let's print our even numbers list. We can just do print even numbers. That should be it. Let's go back to our terminal, and as before, called python lambda.py. Let's run it, and it worked. So that's it for this video, Lambda functions in Python. We have covered the basics of Lambda functions, including how to define them, how to use them with built-in functions like map and filter, and how they compare to regular functions. Lambda functions are a powerful tool in Python that can make your code more concise and readable. If you have any question or feedback, please leave a comment below. And as always, thank you for watching and happy coding.